What if I told you there's a luxury SUV that looks calm, elegant, and almost effortless from the outside? But underneath, it can deliver over 1,000 kilowatts of combined power and launch from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in around 3 seconds? This is not a supercar wearing an SUV body. This is the Zeekr 8X, a massive, plug-in hybrid that is challenging the idea of what a modern luxury SUV can actually be. And the more you look at this machine, the more surprising it becomes. Because the 8X isn't simply about having a huge engine or an enormous battery. It combines a turbocharged petrol engine, multiple electric motors, all-wheel drive, a high-voltage electrical architecture, advanced driver assistance technology, and a luxury-focused cabin into one seriously ambitious package. From the images, the first thing that grabs your attention is the presence of this SUV. The front features a huge vertical grille, sharp lighting elements, a wide stance, and a design that makes the vehicle look considerably more expensive than an ordinary family SUV. Move around to the side and you get a long, substantial body, large wheels, a high belt line, and a sleek roof profile. At roughly 5.1 meters long and almost 2 meters wide, the 8X is not a small vehicle. It has the proportions of a true flagship SUV. But the rear is arguably where the design becomes most interesting. The full-width lighting signature gives the 8X a futuristic identity, while the sculpted tailgate and wide lower section make it look planted on the road. Even standing still, it has the visual attitude of something built for serious performance. And then we get to the part that makes this SUV genuinely wild. The Zeekr 8X uses a plug-in hybrid system centered around a 2.0-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder petrol engine. Depending on the version, the electric powertrain can produce around 898 horsepower, while the range-topping 3-motor configuration is listed at roughly 401 horsepower. That is an absolutely enormous figure for a vehicle of this size. The torque figure is equally dramatic. Higher output versions are listed with up to 410 newton-meters of combined torque. And because electric motors deliver their power so quickly, the 8X can respond almost instantly when the driver demands acceleration. The official figures put the quickest version at approximately 2.96 to 3.0 seconds from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour. Think about that for a second. You are looking at a large luxury SUV that can accelerate into sports car territory. But Zeekr didn't build the 8X purely for acceleration. The real trick is the plug-in hybrid system. The vehicle can combine electric driving with petrol-powered, long-distance capability, meaning it is designed to give drivers the flexibility of electric power for shorter journeys while retaining the convenience of a combustion engine when traveling farther. Battery options include around 55 and 70 kilowatt-hours, with the larger battery offering a claimed electric range of roughly 328 kilometers under the CLTC testing cycle on applicable versions. And because testing standards differ, real-world range will naturally depend on speed, weather, traffic, driving style, temperature, and vehicle load. So these numbers are best understood as laboratory test figures rather than a guarantee of what every driver will achieve. One of the most impressive technical features is the 900-volt electrical architecture. Zeekr says the 8X uses a high-voltage platform designed to support extremely powerful electric performance and rapid energy transfer. The 3-motor flagship setup can reach a staggering 1,030 kilowatts of maximum power. That technology is also important because this is a very large and heavy vehicle. Depending on configuration, published specifications put curb weight roughly between 2,660 and 2,870 kilograms. Yet despite that mass, the 8X is engineered to deliver acceleration numbers that would have sounded unbelievable from a luxury SUV just a few years ago. The chassis and drivetrain are equally important. The 8X uses all-wheel drive, with electric motors providing power to the front and rear axles. This gives the vehicle the traction it needs to put its enormous output onto the road while also supporting confident handling in different driving conditions. And because this is supposed to be a luxury SUV, performance is only half the story. The cabin is designed around technology and comfort, with the vehicle positioned as a premium flagship rather than a basic transportation machine. Advanced computing hardware and driver assistance systems are part of the package, including a high-performance NVIDIA Drive, Thor U, computing platform and LiDAR-based sensing on listed configurations. That means the 8X is trying to become more than just a powerful vehicle. It is designed to function as a rolling technology platform. Siwan Faris, one that can combine cameras, sensors, computing power, connectivity, and intelligent driving assistance to make everyday driving easier. There's also the practicality factor. The 8X is configured as a 5-seat SUV in the currently published specifications, with a wheelbase of about 3.07 meters. That long wheelbase creates the potential for a spacious passenger compartment while also giving the vehicle the proportions expected from a premium full-size SUV. And this is where the Zeekr 8X becomes especially interesting. It isn't trying to be just one thing. It wants to be a family SUV, a luxury vehicle, a high-performance machine, an electric vehicle for everyday driving, and a long-distance hybrid at the same time. That combination is what makes it so different. Of course, there are still important questions. How will the vehicle perform in real-world conditions outside its home market? How will its enormous power translate into everyday driving? And how will long-term reliability, charging infrastructure, service support, and ownership costs compare with more established luxury SUV competitors? Those questions matter because impressive numbers on paper are only part of the story. Still, there is no denying what Zeekr has created here. The 8X represents a new generation of Chinese luxury vehicles where electric motors, hybrid technology, software, advanced computing, and traditional automotive engineering are being combined at an extremely ambitious level. And perhaps the most interesting part is that the 8X doesn't look as crazy as its performance. Figures suggest. Park it next to traditional luxury SUVs and its design can appear sophisticated and restrained. But press the accelerator and the personality changes completely. A roughly 5-meter luxury SUV producing more than 1,000 kilowatts, delivering over 1,400 horsepower in its most powerful configuration, and reaching 100 kilometers per hour in about 3 seconds is a very different interpretation of the modern family vehicle. So, is the Zeekr 8X the future of the luxury SUV? Maybe it's too early to say, but one thing is already clear. The definition of a premium SUV is changing fast. It's no longer enough to have leather seats, a big engine, and a prestigious badge. The next generation is about combining performance, electric power, intelligent technology, luxury, efficiency, and software into one complete experience. And the Zeekr 8X is one of the boldest examples of that philosophy yet. If you enjoyed this deep look at one of the most powerful plug-in hybrid SUVs of the new generation, make sure you stay tuned for more automotive videos, because the next wave of luxury vehicles is getting faster, smarter, and far more interesting than most people realize.